Hello, everyone out there. My name is Tyler Rowland, also known as Ionic Schisms, the Tool fan page, which I founded about 5 years ago. Anyways, it just hit 16,000 followers, and this is my sort of commemoration of that number, that milestone. It's a bit of a sequel to the Rosetta Stone video I made a while ago on here, which was for 14,000. I think. Anyways, this video is going to be seven, I mean, for obvious reasons, 7 reasons why Adam Jones, the guitarist of the band Tool, is my favorite member of said band. I was partially inspired to make this video by a YouTuber named Brian Kroc, who did this really great video on another one of my favorite musicians, Steven Wilson, from Porcupine Tree, and it's a video called 12 Things Fans Forget About Steven Wilson. I'm going to link it in the description. I think it's a great video. It's about his album The Future Bites, which I think is quite a good record. And if you want to see kind of where my mindset was going into making this video, you can check it out. So yeah, Adam Jones, 7 reasons why he's my favorite member of Tool. Let's get into it. Number 1. It's his band. Now, you can hate on this point all you want. I know it might sound kind of controversial. Many of you will probably be thinking, oh, but Danny carries all of the weight in the band, or Tool is a 4-man democracy. No one man has more power over the others. But in my opinion, at least, it really is kind of Adam's thing, and I sort of learned that when I went to a few of those VIP things that the band did in like the middle of the 2010s. Bear in mind, him and MJ Keenan were the founding members. Dan filled in for their original drummer who kept not showing up. And Justin, of course, didn't join until Anima was being recorded. And of these two, Adam and MJK, which one do you think is more involved in the creation of Tool's music? It's certainly not Maynard. Now, it's said that MJK admired Adam because of his very disciplined and reserved style of playing, which I'll get to. And that sort of complemented his headspace at the time Tool was founded. It wasn't so much about the mad polyrhythms of Danny or the watery bass of Justin. And plus, another thing, Dan and Justin, particularly Dan, and of course MJK, but that goes without saying, they were out banging out collaborations and side projects left and right. Volto, Legend of the Seagull Men, Justin's remixes with like the Crystal Method and stuff like that. Whereas Adam, he's really had his heart and soul in just Tool, music-wise, for probably the past 10-15 years. It's really his main creative output, unless you count his artwork and what have you, but I'm talking music only. There's a line Adam has said, and you've probably seen it in some of his interviews. He likes to say, it's not good when it's done when it's good. And for some reason, I think that sort of sums up his involvement and dedication to things in Tool. 2. He makes the same shit sound fresh. I once read a joke in, I think it was a YouTube comment, where someone said, Adam Jones has more bedrooms in his house than frets he has used in the past 20 years. And I can't deny that, that joke has some truth to it. But guess what? I still look forward to what he adds to things and hearing his new material. How is this possible? His tones, clean and heavy alike, are the envy of many guitarists and bands that are 3 times as heavy as Tool. And he manipulates those same patterns every which way in the fashion of, a beginner's Robert Fripp, if you will. He shakes things up with unusual rhythms, of course, considering his bandmates, and unique techniques that I've never heard out of any other guitarist. All hail Adam. Number 3. He keeps it in check. Adam was the perfect catalyst to get me into playing guitar around 5 years ago. His stuff was heavy without being very difficult to figure out. I remember back when I first started playing, I actually started on the bass guitar, not the sixth string. But I remember when I was starting playing, and a friend of mine was really into Metallica, and I can appreciate Metallica. But playing it with him, it didn't click. It made me want to walk away from learning music in the first place. Whereas Tool is much less of a pill to swallow, and it was a lot more. It more directly spoke to me in the beginning. It inspired me a lot more. And now, at this point in my life, I have other guitar influences like John Mayer or Jeff Buckley, both of whom are sort of the antithesis of Jones's reserved style. But it was him that got me going, and for good reason. He doesn't do million-mile-an-hour shit, and you don't really need to grasp any complex musical theory to appreciate what he does. Number 4. He calls the shots on the art, mostly. I guess this point is a bit of a blessing and a curse because the artwork of the band that's so integral didn't really appeal to me at first, and it kind of made me stay away from listening to them. But the more I found out his appreciation for comic books and sort of artistic soul, the more I realized that it was a perfect fit for the larger-than-life aspects of the band's music. And look at the CD packaging. It's unreal. I remember him saying, I want people who hate our band to look at our packaging and artwork and such and go, wow, that's really cool. And in my opinion, they've succeeded in that. Number 5. His aesthetic is nasty. In a good way. I just love how Adam presents himself in his sounds and in what he uses to make said sound. His silver burst guitar is very beefy in both weight, literally, and how it sounds through the heavy amps he uses. He's not afraid to use things like a talk box or a John Carpenter style 80s synthesizer. And look at how he stands on stage. Sort of reminds me of John Entwistle from The Who, kind of standing tall, sort of a soldier. He doesn't make stupid faces or, rock out really hard or anything like that. He just carries himself very well, and it's actually worked in his favor. Look at how quickly people ate up his signature guitar when it went on sale. You'd think he was Slash or something. Number 6. He is nice. I've met Adam a few times, and it set the bar high. He never let the fame really get to his head. In fact, the first time I met him, I think I was 14. Yeah, I think I was 14 at the time. And I told him, in an off moment during the VIP thing or whatever, or as things were wrapping up, I guess. I said I'd go out and get a hamburger with you. You seem like that kind of guy. And he didn't hesitate in giving me a pick after the sound check and stuff like that. And every time I've briefly talked to him since, he's been unafraid to give me this great advice that I still think of today, I have saved in my notes app. The whole never meet your heroes thing, and I mean that has happened to me before, but with Adam certainly not. He's very down to earth and very regular, and if you haven't met him, I guarantee that if you did, you'd really dig his company. Number 7. He is anti-everything. And here's what I mean by that. Going back to what I said a little earlier. No guitar show-offery, and no stupid faces pulled while playing the guitar. No drug problem, no drinking problem, no sex scandal, no embarrassing attempts to do something outside of music or art in general that's ill-advised in every way. Everything you would normally hate a rock star of his position for doing, this man doesn't do. He's a nobody, and he's sort of egoless. And this is huge in terms of how much of a revolution it was to me as an artist just kind of starting out. I've had setbacks in life that led me to not really speak regularly until I was around 4 years old. I'm very reserved, introverted. I still have trouble in social situations. And Jones made me realize that you can hide behind your art and still be a force within it. You can be you and recognized for who you are rather than recognized for how you look and how you live outside of your art. And on top of all that, and this is adding on to what I said at the beginning of this point, he is very unproblematic for someone in his position. He has a stable family. He has no #MeToo accusations against him. He doesn't have beef with or really badmouth anyone or make any ill-advised statements in interviews. He's just a very standard person. And that on its own, along with the other 6 points I've made, solidifies Adam as being my favorite member of Tool. So, yeah, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Thanks again for 16,000 followers. And be well.